Every single one of us has had a dream. Some of those dreams were born in childhood, wide-eyed and full of wonder. Others came during struggle, when we knew deep inside there had to be more to life than just surviving. But here's the harsh truthing: most dreams never become reality. Not because they're impossible, not because we're incapable, but because we lack the one thing that separates the wishful from the unstoppable: focus. Not occasional, not seasonal, not when it's convenient, but consistent focus. Consistent focus isn't sexy. It's not flashy. No one celebrates you for showing up every day and doing the work when no one's watching. But that's exactly where reality is shaped. Not in the loud moments of applause, but in the quiet, relentless grind of discipline. Everyone has had a dream at some point in life. Whether it's starting a business, becoming an athlete, writing a book, or creating a life filled with freedom and purpose. The desire to achieve something meaningful lives inside us all. But for most people, that desire fades. It dies quietly in the background of distractions, fear, laziness, or procrastination, not because the dream was impossible, not because they weren't good enough, but because they never gave it the one thing it truly needing: focus. A dream without focus is like a car without fuel. It might look powerful. It might even make you feel excited to sit in it. But it's never going to move. Focus is the force that takes the invisible and makes it visible. It's what bridges the gap between imagination and execution. 1,000 dreams are born every single day, but very few are ever fulfilled, not because they lacked potential, but because they lacked consistent direction. When your mind is scattered, so is your effort. You jump from one idea to the next, one goal to another, hoping something will finally click. But dreams don't respond to chaos. They respond to clarity. They respond to intention. Focus is what sharpens your vision and silences the noise around you. It's what allows you to say, "This is where I'm going," and then actually go there without turning back every time things get uncomfortable. Most people fall in love with the excitement of dreaming, but run away from the responsibility of building. That's where focus comes in. It transforms your dream from an emotional high into a daily mission. It keeps you grounded when the results don't show up right away. It keeps you moving when others are distracted, discouraged, or ready to quit. Focus isn't about doing one thing. It's about doing the all right things again and again. It's about aligning your actions with your visions so tightly that everything else becomes irrelevant. You stop chasing random goals and you start building your legacy on purpose. You don't waste time explaining your dream to people who don't believe in it. You focus. You direct every ounce of your energy toward the vision that fuels you from within. You stop allowing fear, opinions, and failure to dictate your path. Focus keeps you locked into your purpose like a laser cutting through the doubt, the distractions, and the discouragement that try to pull you off course. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't get the applause. It rarely gets recognition. But it is the most powerful force behind anything great that has ever been built. In a world addicted to speed, hype, and shortcuts, consistency stands out like a quiet warrior. Steady, dependable, and relentless. Most people underestimate its power because it doesn't offer instant gratification. It demands repetition. It requires patience. It looks boring on the outside, but beneath that surface is a force that rewires your habits, builds your discipline, and shapes you into the person your dream requires you to become. Consistency is not about doing massive things once. It's about doing small things daily. And when those small things are done with purpose, they grow into results that people can't ignore. The truth is, talent will get you started, but consistency is what keeps you in the game. Passion will give you excitement, but consistency will give you progress. Most people don't fail because they don't have what it takes. They fail because they stop. They stop when it gets boring. They stop when it gets hard. They stop when they don't see the results right away. But the ones who succeed, they keep going. They keep showing up on the days they don't feel like it. They keep practicing, building, learning, and pushing, even when no one is watching. Consistency is how habits are formed. It's how confidence is built. It's how momentum is created. You don't wake up one day successful. You build it brick by brick through consistent effort, day after day. And the beauty of consistency is that it compounds. What feels like small, insignificant action today becomes powerful growth over time. It's like planting a seed and watering it daily. At first, there's nothing. But deep under the soil, something is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is being built. Then one day, without warning, the result breaks through. The world chases intensity. The one big push, the all-nighter, the sudden breakthrough. But those who truly win know that intensity fades. It burns out. Consistency, on the other hand, is sustainable. It doesn't rely on motivation. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It is a commitment, a promise you make to yourself that you'll keep showing up, no matter what mood you're in, no matter what's going on around you. Discipline is the missing link between where you are and where you want to be. It's not about rules or restrictions. It's about ownership. It's about deciding that your vision matters enough to fight for it daily. Dreams don't care how excited you are when you talk about them. They care about how committed you are when no one's listening, when no one's cheering, and when progress feels invisible. Discipline doesn't wait for you to feel like working. It shows up regardless of feelings. It's the silent muscle that gets stronger every time you choose to act, when every part of you wants to quit. While motivation is fleeting, discipline is reliable. It doesn't rise and fall with your emotions. It stands firm when things get hard. It shows up in the early mornings, the late nights, and the mundane moments that feel like they don't matter. But they do. Discipline is what bridges the massive gap between ambition and results. So many people dream big, speak big, and plan big, but they never do big. Why? Because they're waiting to feel ready or feel inspired. But champions aren't made by feelings. They're made by patterns, repeated actions, repeated sacrifices, choosing what you want most over what you want now. That's discipline. It's the voice that says, keep going. When comfort says, take it easy. It's the refusal to be seduced by shortcuts. It's the awareness that your habits are either building your dream or slowly destroying it. You don't need to get everything right. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay consistent in your discipline. You need to make the hard choices, especially when no one's watching. That's the true test of your character. Not what you do in front of others, but what you do when it's just you, your goal, and a decision to make. Do you hit snooze or get up and work? Do you scroll your phone or build your craft? Do you break the promise you made to yourself or keep it no matter what? Discipline becomes your edge. It gives you the stamina to outlast the noise. It protects your momentum. It sets you apart in a world that settles for good enough. When others burn out chasing temporary highs, discipline keeps you grounded in steady progress. It becomes your daily. The world is overflowing with distractions. Every second, something is trying to steal your attention. Social media, meaningless conversations, instant entertainment, and even the pressure to keep up with what everyone else is doing. If you don't learn how to focus, you will spend your life reacting instead of building. You'll spend your energy chasing things that look urgent but aren't important. Focus isn't just about knowing what to say you yes'll to. It's about having the courage to say no to everything that doesn't move you closer to your purpose. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you're saying no to your dream. That may sound harsh, but it's the truth. Time is limited. Energy is limited. And if you don't protect them, they will be wasted on things that nothing for your future. Greatness is not just built on hustle. It's built on intention. Focus is what allows you to make intentional decisions about how you spend your time and what deserves your effort. It means being clear about your values and being unapologetic about guarding them. The people who achieve massive results are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are simply the most focused. They've learned to block out the noise and lock in on what matters most. They've learned to stop pleasing everyone. They've accepted that in order to rise, they have to prioritize. Focus is a discipline. It requires constant self-awareness. It requires asking yourself daily, is this helping me grow? Is this fueling my mission? Or is this just draining me? And the truth is, most people never ask those questions. They're too busy reacting, too busy comparing, too busy saying yes to things that don't serve their future. Focus teaches you to do less, but better. It teaches you to streamline your life around your purpose, to stop scattering your attention across meaningless activities, and instead direct it like a laser beam on the actions that matter most. The reality is, every goal has a cost, and the cost is not just effort. It's sacrifice. Sacrificing distractions. Sacrificing unnecessary obligations. Sacrificing approval from people who don't understand your vision. You cannot do everything and still be excellent at something. Focus demands that you go of good things so you can give your best to the right things. It is the discipline of subtraction. Removing the excess, the clutter, the noise. So your true mission has the space it needs to grow. Weapon, your silent advantage. The habit that separates the dreamers from the doers. We're taught to chase big moments, to wait for breakthroughs, turning points, or massive leaps. But the truth is, success rarely shows up all at once. It's built in silence, in repetition, in the small decisions you make every single day. The world loves to celebrate the big win, but what they don't see is the thousands of quiet steps that led up to it. Big moves might make headlines, but it's the small, consistent actions that shape character, build momentum, and create real transformation. Those tiny steps, when repeated with discipline and focus, become the foundation of greatness. They may feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create a ripple effect so powerful that it becomes unstoppable. It's easy to feel like you're not making progress when the steps are small. You might not see instant results. You might wonder if it's even working. But that's where most people give up. In the early stages, when the process is invisible, they forget that a tree doesn't sprout the moment you plant the seed. It needs time. It needs consistency. The roots grow before the branches ever appear. And so it is with your habits, your discipline, your routines. Every small, intentional step you take is strengthening your foundation, even when the outside world doesn't see it. People think massive success is about one lucky moment or a bold, dramatic change, but it's not. It's about showing up. It's about doing what matters, even when it feels boring, even when it feels like it's not enough. It's the early morning when no one's watching. It's the choice to stay disciplined when comfort calls. It's the habit of doing the right thing when the wrong thing is easier. That's what makes the difference over time. When you commit to small steps, you create a system. You remove the pressure of overnight change and replace it with a structure that leads you forward. Small steps give you proof that you're moving. They give you momentum. And once you have momentum, you become harder to stop. Each step leads to the next. Each repetition becomes easier. Each win, no matter how small, becomes fuel for the next. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on rhythm. You stop doubting the process and start trusting the power of movement. There's something unshakable about a person who refuses to give up. Not because they have it all figured out, not because they move the fastest or shine the brightest, but because they've made a decision to stay focused no matter what. The truth is, success doesn't always come to the most talented. It doesn't even always come to the most passionate. It comes to those who endure, those who keep showing up, keep executing, and keep doing the work long after the excitement has faded. Focus is not just a strategy, it's a mindset, a relentless commitment to the goal even when the process gets frustrating, exhausting, or unclear. When you stay focused long enough, you start to outlast the competition. You begin to separate yourself from those who are inconsistent, distracted, or addicted to shortcuts. You stop measuring yourself against others, and instead, you measure yourself against your own progress. Day by day, you build strength, you build grit, you build a track record of discipline that becomes undeniable. People may doubt you in the beginning. They may not understand your vision, but over time, your consistency silences every doubt. Your results begin to speak louder than your explanations. The world gets loud. Obstacles rise. Distractions multiply. But when your focus is locked in, when your mission becomes non-negotiable, you train your mind to stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. You start to filter every choice through the lens of your visioning. Does this move me forward? Or does this pull me off track? That level of clarity creates power. It gives you the endurance to keep walking when others stop. It gives you the courage to say no when temptations come disguised as opportunities. It gives you the stamina to keep climbing when progress feels slow, and to keep believing when the results aren't yet visible. People quit not because they're weak, but because they lose focus. They forget why they started. They get pulled into noise, comparison, and emotion. But those who win, truly win, are the ones who anchor themselves to their purpose and build a tunnel vision so strong that nothing can shake them. The setbacks might come, and they will. The doubts will rise. But their eyes stay on the target. They don't look left or right. They don't drift when things get hard. They lean in. They adapt. They stay locked in on the mission until the mission becomes reality.